Guys, welcome back to another episode of Sky Factory. I'm Logan. Just harvesting up my farm a little bit here. So I've done quite a bit of work since last episode. I worked on the automation of resource gathering a lot, and have a very interesting solution for you. And keyword is interesting. My first thought is to call it a little bit janky, but I think a better word is creative engineering. And that's what I'm going to stick with. The term I'm going to stick with. So, and one last one over there. Very cool, cool. Alright, so we got a little bit of a farm going. The trees just grew again. So there's I built out the rest of the little factory area. Cleaned a lot of this up. Fixed this roof. Put some glass in here, made it look a little viewing window. I think it looks kind of cool. And here's what the little factory area looks like. I made this little arch thing. And you'll see what we're going to do with that here shortly, I hope. So over here, here's my creative engineering solution. So basically, the autonomous activators break the blocks. They fall down. Anything that gets stuck on the top, the open blocks fan blows off. The MFR conveyor belts dump it over to a hopper into a chest. The chest pulls out the gravel to send it back to get sieved and pulls out everything else and sends it into these barrels for sorting. Since the barrels aren't really much more expensive than a chest, I decided to do it this way. That way I could kind of basically see where I was at and what I needed to kind of, process up. So that's that. Yeah, this is kind of interesting to set up, but you know what? It works. It's nearly 100% effective. Every once in a while I catch a stray block out here, but like I said, more than 99 out of 100. Maybe like 1 out of every 2 or 300 ends up out there. So I'm kind of happy with it. And you can see it's just cruising along. And the best part about this is I don't have to touch it. The only thing I have to do is keep adding hammers to this thing. That's why I put a little hopper on there, so I can just load it up with hammers and let it ride. So cool. So let me know what you think. And then I just have I disconnected the cobblestone generator because I was basically building up more building up more gravel than I was building up anything else. So basically, sifting the gravel was taking longer than actually breaking the block. So I slowed it down a little bit and actually turned both of them into sieves, just for the time being, so I can come in. So cool. Let me know what you think. So what we're going to work on today is I want to get some Oh, I also died again. You can see my levels are back down to 5, but yeah, I died. I was working in here, and I jumped right through, fell right through, and fell down. Lost a little bit of resources. But anyway, so I want to work on a little bit of power, and want to maybe set up a little bit of a thermal expansion processing line. Really basic, just like a pulverizer and furnace, or a couple of furnaces, and basically see where we can get with that. One thing I'm worried about is the furnace requires bricks, and I need to get some clay for the bricks. So, see if I have any dust. I do. So that should be enough. I need to go unload that. Also set this up Basically, this has a servo in it, so I could come and dump those in there, and basically it'll sort itself out. So we'll do that here in a second. So let me dump off all this extra junk. I need to cook that. Make some more dirt while I'm over here. Alright, so we have 4 buckets of water. Okay. So that should be... Okay, cool. That's 8 pieces of clay. So we can cook that into brick, so we actually can make a furnace. And... I don't think we need anything else over here. But I'll fill this up while we're waiting. Okay, cool. So, I like this little area. It's kind of nice and cozy. And I really like the texture pack. I really like this wood. So, let's get going. Got a fair amount of coal. Just load this up a little bit. Did I turn this thing on? Yeah, it did. Okay, cool deal. So what are we going to need for this project? So we're going to need some, definitely some gold and some copper. Toss you in there. So this is another reason why I kind of did this, because it's really easy just to come and grab a stack. Probably need a stack of gold. Alright. 10, probably so. So it's a little bit manual right now, but yeah, it's not bad. I need some of you. Oh, where am I lost? Oh, there we go. Nickel, not gonna need. Silver, aluminum, plat. They got 16 diamonds though. Not very much redstone. Okay, let these things cook up and I'll bring you back in a second. Alright guys, I'm back. I had to AFK just a little bit because I was short of redstone. So I'll wait a little bit for some redstone to come through. I'm sure I've talked about this, but don't know if I've explained it as well as I could have. About when you're going to Civ, you have 3 different materials. You can do either sand, gravel, or dust. And each of the 3 different ones give you different outputs. As you just saw there on the conveyor belt, dust outputs redstone. That's basically you find redstone and dust. But you find a higher percentage of ores and gravel. So, but you also find ores. Just like if I switch over here, you will find ores in gravel, or some sand and dust, but they're at a lower concentration. Also, you find diamonds and emeralds and gravel, but you don't find them in dust. So it's kind of a balance between the 3 materials. I don't do a whole lot of sieving of the sand. There's just not anything that I need in it right now. So you can see there's some redstone coming through. But there's some more redstone, which is what we were in need of. So that'll be 21. Alright, I also moved a chest over here and brought all the ingots over so we can start using them. So first thing I want to make is I need a dynamo. So I'm going to make a steam dynamo. So we need copper, silver, redstone. Okay. So fair amount of copper, a little bit of iron. I think I had silver. Yeah, 1 silver. And some redstone. Let's do 10 for now. So basically I'm going to use my steam dynamo as my entry-level power system. But don't worry, it's not going to stay like that for long. So 2 gears. That should be it, right? Alright, steam dynamo. Next thing I want to get is a metallurgic infuser. There we go. So we're gonna get a little bit more stuff. 1 bar. Okay, cool. Alright, so let me find my bucket. I think it's in here. Yeah, there you are. Grab some bucket. Another thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna probably put a pile of charcoal on. 1, 2, 3. Alright. There we go. No. There you go. Cook that for me, please. I'll save that. I'll need that for something. Okay. So, I'm going to set down a metallurgic fuser. Basically, I want to get some... What are we trying to make? I want to make a windmill. That's the end goal. To make a windmill. And I'm going to put it up there on that little archway. I think it'll look cool. And the reason I chose a windmill is because basically it's going to be free power. I don't have to put any coal through it or charcoal, even though, we're doing, get a low rate stacks of that. I mean, we could do that, but let's go the windmill approach. So for that, we need to make some of this enriched alloy, which is redstone and iron. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to need 6 of those. I guess I need help if I'd start you. Okay. So I don't know if this is a 1-to-1 ratio or not. I can't remember. Okay, looks like it is. Alright, so we'll let that work. Grab a little more water. Okay, so that's 3. I had enough in there. Oh, it's a power issue. So let me finish. I'll get this made up. I'll bring you back in a second. Alright guys, I'm back. So now I'm working with iron. Turns out I had too much redstone in there, so I had to end up making like 3 more than I expected. So I'm making some steel, so I decided to go with a universal cable since it's a little bit cheaper, and I get more of it for my based on what my material input is. So I need 4. I want to make 6 of this. 4. One more. So basically, I just have coal and iron to make enriched iron, and then re-enrich it again with more coal to get steel dust. So I need a little bit more of this, I think. I think that should be enough. What are my charcoals doing? Yeah, you're doing good. So with 6 pieces of steel, I'll be able to get 24 pieces of cable. Out of redstone, or out of coal. Oh, can you use charcoal? Oh yeah, you can. Nice. Well, just clear out the last piece of carbon or coal. Alright, cool deal. So let me go cook this up. Thank you in there. Alright, so now let's get on to let's actually make the windmill. So we need gold, 6 pieces of gold, 3U. That's not what I wanted. Okay, good deal. So let's get this thing going. Energy tablet. Oh, this thing. Where are we at? There we go. Windmill. Cool. So now let's get this stuff going. You know, I could make some mechanism machines, but you know, mainly I put the mechanism in for the generators. So we need a little more gold, some more iron, 2 more pieces of gold, 1 more iron, grab some tin. Got copper. Got just a little bit of redstone. Yeah, so it looks like I'm not gonna be able to make this. Okay, at least I want to get the pulverizer then, because I want to try something. Flint. Sawmill pulverizer. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Pulverizer, please. Thank you. Okay, nice. So once we get a little more redstone, we should be able to get the other one. So I'm going to set this down and wire up that windmill, and I'll bring you back in a second. Alright, time to do something dumb. Clear out the inventory, that way we don't lose it if this goes horribly wrong. Get rid of that and that. Stack of cobble. Alright. So I got the windmill up there. I think it looks pretty cool up there. And now we gotta start the wiring. So this is how you made it downstairs in old school sky block. Throw a bucket and a little bit worried since it seems it's flowing out. Yeah, it's good. We're good. Alright, so I want to build a basement. Woo! Come on, jump! Okay, nice. So now, should be able to reach. I didn't bring any tools though. I didn't do this exactly like I wanted it, but it'll work. There we go. And now we have basement. Very scary basement. That you do not want to let shift go when you're down here. Okay, so that should be, let me actually take it out a little bit more. Probably should be using slabs. But that's okay, I'll bring a torch down here. So I need to branch out a little bit further. Okay, because this is where, this corner right here is where the power is going to come down at. Okay, cool. So, let's run back over here. I think I got some ladders over here. Let's put some ladders in. For now. Yeah, I got a few ladders. That'll work. Oh, wrong way. Grab the universal cable. A couple torches. Okay. Nice. I'll run this power down, and I wonder if we should do power out the back or underneath. Let's do power out the back. what I'll do one more. Actually, two more. So I can break that one. Couple torches down, so we got nothing spawning. Check F7. F7's good. Steel, there it is. And covers. And a wrench. So, what I'll do is I'll just put covers along this, and then when I need more stuff to get powered, yeah, do it just like that. Come to me. Nice. So let's finish covering that up. And guess I'll just leave this open for now since I'm sure it's going to need a little bit of expansion. And you're getting power. Hear the windmill kick on. Okay, so this is what I want to try to kind of end this episode off. So let's see, what do we have a lot of? A lot of copper. So put this in here, what happens? I see. Well, how about that? So you could double ores by processing the gravel. Well, that's gonna make things a lot better. I love that texture. Okay, cool. So, you know what, guys? I think we're pretty much at the end of the episode. I need some more redstone before we can make the furnace. There we go, furnace. This looks like I need 3 pieces of redstone. So I gotta let this cycle through a little bit. There's some sand. Let's put you in there. Sand will make dust. Dust will make redstone. So cool. So I guess we will pick that up, next episode. Put in the pulverizer, and I guess I will finish running some power more down this line. That way we can just break off a block and hook power right into it. Thanks for joining me. Be sure to subscribe and leave me some comments and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys on the next one.